Howdy folks, welcome back to Medicine Creek Farms. We are dusty, but nearing the end of the bean harvest. Come on, back up. So I've just got this last little part of the finger down here to do, and then we'll have all the beans in. And as you can see, it's day 4 mid-autumn in the afternoon here. It's been a long haul with this little 5-meter head, but I'm getting her done. And the cows are doing well. Pull that up real quick. They're up to 83% health. So that's heading on up, which is nice to see. And not much else has happened. Did a little soybean straw baling. So we've got those to pick up. I'm not sure how many bales we got. I didn't count. But yeah, we got our work cut out for us. Got tanks about a little over half full. So we're just going to get these beans in and then maybe pick up some bales. That's the plan for the rest of the day. Whoa, a little bit of a ditch here. Let's see if I get turned around. Been doing a little bit of in cab, a little bit of out of cab, just to kind of keep things interesting. Whoa! Let's run into the tree. That'll stop you. We gotta pull ourselves up out of the hill here, and we're off again. Been finding it kind of difficult to stay straight from in the cab. It'll look like I'm doing alright, then I pop outside and I'm not, but it looks like we got most of it. I wouldn't call that straight, but you know, we're getting there. So we take the high drone view here. We're down here in the last little finger of field 25. It almost feels like it's getting dark, but I think it's just getting a little hazy. It's only 2:30. The combine continues to run well. Haven't had any issues with it, so I think we got a good buy. It's a little old, and the head is not the biggest, but the price was sure right. Speaking of price, it looks like around the beginning of the summer is going to be some pretty good bean prices, so we'll be keeping an eye on that next year. And we'll just store it in the bin over the winter. We've got enough hay and silage and straw, and then we've got the water from the well, so we don't really have any cow expenses right now, so we can just chug on through the wintertime. I do need to keep an eye on the alfalfa. It's probably going to be a late cut on the alfalfa. To put a little edit in there. I tell you what, it's been tough getting time to record, but we're going to make it happen. Wife is headed out for trivia night. She had to tell me some stuff before she headed out. So yeah, we're going to have the alfalfa cut once we get the bean straw picked up. Back to just kind of a waiting game. I don't know that I want to do any regular hay this fall. We've got plenty of hay. It's not worth selling it, so I think we'll just let the grass rest. Cut the alfalfa, sell that, see how that works out. Might help out Hank a little bit. We'll see what he's got going on. Oh, he's helped me out plenty, so we might do some neighbor work. But like I said in a prior video, I don't think I'm going to be doing any more contracts. Although I might do a contract and then like take the money away or something. The contracts just pay too much. That doesn't mean we can't use them to tell a story. That's what this is all about. This is just you know, semi role play. It's not serious. I don't take myself too seriously. I think you all know that. We jump back and forth between roleplay and talking about the game mechanics. Y'all are smart. You can figure that out. Oh, don't go in the trees. That wouldn't be smart. And it's really just about working the farm. That's all this series is. I don't have any grand plan. I don't usually map out like what I'm gonna do. Just kind of pick a story, pick a place, and let it unfold. I did have a comment on a prior video about the length of the videos and how they should be consistent. And how it was unprofessional to bounce around between times. And I addressed that in a reply to the comment, but I thought I'd talk about that a little bit while we're harvesting beans. This channel is not gonna be professional, right? Y'all know that. It's a tiny little channel. This is just a hobby. It's a creative outlet. I've got a family, 2 young kids. I've got a demanding career. I don't have a ton of time to game, let alone sit and edit videos and make them super polished and script everything out and whatnot. That's never what this channel is going to be about, at least for the foreseeable future. So if that's not really your thing, no problem. There's tons of YouTube channels out there that do super polished, well-presented gameplay. So help yourself, but you just want a random dude playing games and trying to tell a story here and there. That's what this is going to be all about. Like I said, I don't take it too seriously. I do like to kind of tell a story especially with Farming Simulator. Come up with some kind of plausible reason that we're doing what we're doing, but nope, it's not going to be high polish, and I'm going to try to keep the episodes around 20 minutes, but some people want an hour, some people want 10 minutes. So I kind of mix it up once in a while. I know last Friday's episode was just a hair under 10 minutes, I think. It was pretty short. And I did that for a couple reasons. A, I didn't have a lot of time to record it. Work has been just super duper busy. And B, I didn't feel like there was a smooth flow between picking up the combine, bringing it home, and then using it without an extra long episode. So we got a short episode. And at least one person didn't like that, and that's okay. You don't have to like everything I do. There is so much good content out there on YouTube. I wish I had enough hours in the day to watch it all. We're just about full here. Thought maybe we could squeak out the last little bit of this. But we're not going to quite fit it all in the bin. There we go. Debating on whether I should go get the... Maybe I'll just go get the tractor. That header back down. Save me climbing the hill in the combine. So we'll let the combine sit there and cool off a little bit. We'll take a little jog. It's nice and quiet up here. I have seen, we've got weeds already growing. I don't know if there's any around here, but I've seen them as I'm harvesting. Before I can even get the field harvester, we've got weeds growing. So I'm not sure if, I guess I can pre-treat that any time, perhaps. So we'll get the rest of this soybean stalks baled up. Then I'll probably throw some herbicide on it. Forget where I saw that. Somewhere there were some weeds sprouting up. So a little over half full on the gravity cart here. I'm gonna hug the edge of the field here. We don't have soil compaction. I really would miss that mod from 17, but from what I understand, the channel they were using for that is no longer available in 19. A lot of the stuff changed under the hood. So the Seasons folks didn't put soil compaction in. Something changed, I think, with the plowing channels. Shouldn't be too bad anyway with the duels. But we'll mash some grass down. There we go. Let's pull up just a little bit. Alright, that'll do. Just leave the case sitting there. I think I mentioned it before. I've got a mod called Manual Unload. I don't like the automatic stuff where you pull under it and it starts augering out, especially if the combine's off and then it starts augering. This seems silly. That mod is available on my Discord. You can find that link in the About page on the channel. This is single player only. I think I've talked about that in a prior episode. Makes it so you have to push R to, you can toggle it on and off. And you also have to have power available. There we go. Alright, back into the bean. It's just about done. And I did get the augering figured out over at the grain bin. Experimented with that after the last episode. And what turned out to be just, not really an incompatibility, but the gravity wagon, the way its dump is, and then the way the trigger was on the Farm King, it just wasn't able to mesh up, so I went and tweaked the trigger on the Farm King. So I can get it to work now, is the long and short of it. So I'm able to just dump from the gravity wagon into the Farm King and auger it right up into the bin, which is cool. I like doing that. What I don't like is birds just magically appearing in the middle of the field. Farm sim. This thing's noisy. Can't even hardly hear the horn. So we got, what, 3 more passes here and we'll have this field in. I am curious to see what happens with the chopped stalks here. I don't know if that's built into the map where it counts as fertilization or not. Just have to see. I forgot to turn my phone off. I've also got the, I've got a pork shoulder in the smoker, so I've got that temperature gauge here. It might go off, although I think it's plateaued, so it's probably going to be good for a couple more hours, and then it'll start climbing again. It's all about the multitasking. Wife left something in the oven and she left for a trivia thing, so that's what she was telling me earlier. I'm gonna go jump on that. And I'm actually going to stream tonight, so if you haven't checked out the stream over on Twitch, there's also a link to that in the About page. I do a lot of stuff, not necessarily farm sim lately, just a lot of different survival and simulation type games. So come chill with us sometime over on Twitch. Don't have a set schedule for the previously stated reasons. But I try to stream 2 or 3 nights a week at least. And get some streams in on the weekend. Round and round we go. I think this ought to be the last pass, I think. We got enough width here. We might miss a little bit. Almost got it. Is it worth going back? The 0.2 bushels? Probably not. All right, done and done. There's field 25 in the tank. Beautiful. All right, I'm going to pull this over here and park it. I'll have to come back for it later. Get it off the field just in case I have to do some other work. All right, well that machine worked out all right. Pretty happy with the New Holland. Let it cool for just a bit before we shut it down. Yeah, it does have the Euro signs on it, but you know, it's close enough to US style. I like it. Got a good dirt texture. The work area on the head could be a little better, but overall I think it's a great combine. Let me get a thumbnail here while we're waiting. Does that work? Sort of. We might use that for a thumbnail. Alright, you're cooled off. You're almost out of fuel. So we burned up over 3/4 of a tank of fuel just between field 43 and 25 here. Thing seems to suck down the fuel. Let's go do some augering. Really like this case tractor. It always sounds like it's working. Heard this sound a lot as a kid. We were surrounded by farm fields. A lot of tractors pretty much like this one working. That's pretty much what they sounded like. Might be another good thumbnail there. I kind of have an unwritten rule. I always make my thumbnails from in-game. I don't like stage thumbnails. I don't know why. It always seemed disingenuous to me to just see all these see a stage thumbnail and then you don't see that in the video. I don't know. Is that silly? Probably. Yeah, we better wait. Home sweet home. Now, this is still a little bit tricky. I've got to get that spout like right over the auger bin, but we can make it work. Now I need to go get the Ford and hook it up. So round and round we go here. See, I've made a few trips around the bin. The branch should work for getting unloaded. That hasn't been tested yet, but... Alright, so the trick is to sneak up on this. And then cut right around. And then, in theory, get that right over there. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. First try. And that'll dump right in there, but that's going to fill up. So we need to go get the Ford. So that'll dump into here. Then once I get the Ford hooked up, we could start augering it into the bin. Even though if you look here, thanks to FarmSim magic, it thinks it's actually spinning. But it won't auger in yet till I tell it to. So just ignore the spinning PTO. Farm like never before. Alright, I'm going to put a jump cut in here. I'm going to go get the Ford, get it hooked up, and we'll start augering. Alright, we've got the Ford. We're going to get it hooked up. I want to try to get close to this so it doesn't shift the auger around. I've got it pretty much set where I want it to be. There we go. Alright, now the timing is a little critical here just because of the way I've got mods set up. I have to tell this to auger into the bin. So it's going to start augering, and then I got to jump back in here, tell this to dump, and then as long as it doesn't run out of beans in the little bin, it should keep going. Probably ought to slow that down a little bit. It augers really fast. Just about done. There it is. Look at that. What's that give us for beans? Thanks, autosave. You're the real MVP. So 1,845 bushels. Not a ton. We had, was it 200? I have to go back and look what we had. I think we got about 1,500 bushels off of field 25, something like that. And if we check the price history, they shoot up pretty decent around the first part of summer there. Not so good right now. So we'll sell those next summer. What we're going to need to do, though, is unhook you. I'll shut the case down. Might have ran over the auger a little bit. So that's it for the harvesting. So it should be fine. It's set there idling most of the time. Shut that down. I'm gonna go, we're gonna do some baling. Then maybe next episode we'll be picking up some straw bales. I'm not sure, but I think this one's run on long enough, so I'm gonna head on up there, hook back up to the baler, and get back to work. Thanks for hanging out as always. Take care.